What's up, Glue Dots? I'm Elaine, the Midnight Crafter. Today's craft is a farmhouse DIY wall decor, or possibly you could even stand it up. I actually have it standing up right now. Kind of like a window with little flower baskets in it, or little flower buckets. So adorable. You can modify it too. You're gonna see, once you see it, you'll understand, but you can modify it, make it into a little herb garden, hanging herb garden. I mean, I think it's just really cute. I'm really happy with the way it turned out, and I can't wait to show it to you guys. It's pretty easy. It's entirely, as I said, made up of Dollar Tree items, so it's pretty inexpensive as well. And obviously you know where to find all the goodies, and it's stuff that's pretty easy to find too. So what could be better? So what I'd love for you to do, if you would love to keep seeing my videos, hit the subscribe button below here and the bell next to it. Every time I upload a new video, it will notify you, which is always a good thing. And give me a thumbs up if you like my videos. I would really love to hear from you if you'd care to leave a comment. And even better, if you want to share this with someone else that you think might like it, that would be amazing. So with that all being said, let's get right to it. Okay, Glue Dots, to get started, the first step was to remove all of the outside wrapping, of course, and then to take out the glass and the little backing from all of your picture frames. Now, I've done them ahead because I'm pretty sure you don't need to see me do that, but I just wanted to show you the first one I did. I was bending the little metal piece that holds the glass in, and it broke the frame. Instead, I opted to just use an old pair. You can use pliers. I'm just using my wire cutters just because these are dull and it works, so why not? And I'm just pulling these little pieces out. They do pull out really easily once you get under there. Of course I say that, and then no, they do pull out really easily. You just need to get underneath it, and they pull out real nicely. Then I put aside the backing and the glass. Never know what other project I might need those for. And then we're ready to get started. So what we'll be doing initially here is we're going to be laying out and gluing our 6 frames all together. And we're going to glue them just like this, using not only our E6000 but our hot glue. The hot glue is for more immediate adhesion, and the E6000 is for long-term hold and a stronger hold. So this is the layout we're going to be doing. Let's get these babies glued together. So we're going to be adding glue onto the side and to the bottom. Don't put so much that it seeps out the front, because that won't look very pretty. Then I'll be putting a little bit of hot glue kind of in between my other E6000 glue, kind of working quickly so that it doesn't solidify on us, harden up. And then I'm going to lay that down and put them together. Line them up the best you can, nice and tidy, because we want this then to end up looking like a little window with window panes. And that's why I actually chose these particular frames, because I like the shape of them. You can do this pretty much with any frame that has a nice flat edge for you to glue on. But I just really like these, how they had kind of that wooden effect to them, and a little bit weathered looking, sort of farmhousey looking. So my glue gun, actually the switch had shut off, so my glue was not heating up. So I'm gonna kind of start again. These 3 top pieces are already glued together, and just a suggestion that you glue the 3 bottom pieces together and then with one straight line glue the 2 pieces together that you have. So these three and those three, and then glue them together. Just because it's a lot easier that way than having to go around the corner, trying to hurry up before your glue dries up. And so I'm going to go ahead and put the E6000 on the sides first. Hopefully my glue gun is hot again. My gosh, yeah, much better. Thought something wasn't working right. Now don't worry if the glue seeps out the back. You more want to be concerned with it seeping out the front. Now that I have my 3 and 3, I'm going to go ahead and glue them together by putting E6000 on one side and hot glue on the other side and attaching them. Give that a moment to dry. The next step we'll be doing is to be taking our big craft sticks, and we're going to be using these to reinforce to make sure this whole thing holds together, because it is going to be carrying a tiny bit of weight on there with our plants. So also we're going to be doing that using both the E6000 and the hot glue. We're going to do that on each of the sections. I think I'm going to overlap on this section more towards the center intersection there, just to give a little extra hold, a little extra strength to it. I've also decided to add a piece on each of these sides just to give it that little extra bit. So I'm going to take one of the popsicle sticks and cut it in half. And then glue that into place, one on each side. We want all the support this thing can get. Looks like everything's pretty well put together. We're going to flip it over and then clean up any glue that may have seeped through to the front. Now we're going to take the burlap ribbon that has the lace on it, and we're going to be cutting a piece that, for measurement purposes, just to help you out, is a little shorter. So if you go to where the curve starts and where the curve starts, and we're going to cut off right about there. So just a little shorter than what your popsicle stick is. And you're going to need 3 pieces like this, because we're going to take and cut each one in half, just like this, right along that line. And we're going to be using one in each little window. I have my 6 pieces cut. Now we're going to take our little buckets. What I did for my buckets, I've used these before. I had some succulents planted in there. I just put a little nail hole through the bottom, so in case you want a plant that's going to be live in here to drain, you want to do a little herb garden or something in it, you can do that. I think probably for this project I'm probably going to either use fake succulents or fake flowers, but you're going to take your piece and pass it through the bucket and fold it in half. And then what we're going to be doing is gluing the pieces. Oh my gosh, this is what happens when you craft at night. You start getting goofy. All right, then we're going to turn our picture frames over, and we're going to be gluing this right onto the back side of each of the center of the frames. Okay, so I'm going to also on this one use a combination of E6000 and hot glue. It kind of seems to be a winning combo. And because it's fabric, you're going to have to put a little extra of your E6000 on there. And then glue it right into the center of your frame. Hold that down until it cools off. You know, it would probably help if you put some in the middle so you can glue your 2 pieces together. And then I like to use, some of you have seen it in my other videos, I like to use a piece of parchment paper to press that down. Yes, you still get the warmth of the glue through that, but at least it doesn't stick to you, and it won't stick to the parchment paper either. So as soon as that cools off, the parchment paper just peels right off, and it just makes things a lot easier. So it just peels off nice and neat. So we're going to do that again, and if you care, you can pay attention to which way your lace is going if you all want them to match up. Now that we have all our little buckets glued on, we're going to be gluing together and putting on our jenga pieces. Now we're going to attach 2 jenga pieces together, glue them together, and then we're going to be attaching those onto the corners. So they're going to be going right here to help hold this away from the wall so that the buckets can hang freely. So go ahead and get those glued together. You're going to want to make 4 sets of those, so you're going to need 8 of the little blocks. Now squeeze them together real well, and don't worry about the glue seeping out like mine is doing, because you can just clean that off. It's going to be in back, it's really not going to show much anyway. So I take my parchment paper and just smooth that out a bit. You can also scrape it off with a popsicle stick as well to kind of clean it off. I just scraped it with this popsicle stick. Okay. Once you have 4 of these, I only have 2. I'm short Jenga blocks. I have to go buy some tomorrow and finish up this tutorial. And attach that right out here on the corner, and you can move it around a little to get that glue spread, but this is going to be a very important component to this, because with these are what we're going to hang it on the wall so that the buckets can hang freely. So I want the smooth side, not necessarily the split side, but the smooth side to be pointing outwards, because if you do see anything, it will be the side. So you don't want the glued together side to show. So I have the seam side is in here, the outside is smooth. You're going to glue one of these onto each of your 4 corners. Now I can't really lift this to show you a good view, but I do want to show you that you don't want to put these all the way out to the outside edge, but leave a little bit of a space. You can see a little bit of a lip here of the frame, but we do also, once we get these on there, we're going to want to go around on the sides. You want to reinforce it with extra hot glue to make sure that it does not go anywhere. I'm going to do that on the 2 inside parts that won't be showing. And use plenty of glue on that because it's not going to show anyway. You can go slightly up the side of the block even, because you really need this piece to hold. Once you have all 4 of your corners done, this is going to be drying overnight because it's really important that it stays solidly placed. And then we're going to take our command strip. Now they do have them at the Dollar Tree, but the ones that I got are they hold 12 pounds and it's the value pack. I use these quite a bit, and it's really funny because I used to hear people on YouTube all the time, command strip this, command strip that, and I thought, oh, for goodness sake, these command strips. But you know, once you use them, you're gonna love them. They're great. So what we're gonna wanna do is then we're gonna be cutting a piece. We should be able to get 3 of them out of each strip, so you're gonna need 2 in total. And we're going to be cutting a piece that the size of our block. So it's right about there. You know, cut these extra tabs off too so you can see what you're doing. because those we won't be needing. And so I stuck the two pieces of command strip together, and both sides now have the adhesive. So we'll be peeling off that adhesive and then sticking it to the top of the block. Now I'm not going to just trust the command strip adhesive. I want to make sure that it's going to stick on there really well. So I'm actually going to be using some of my other glue as well to hold it in place. Probably more of my just E6000 because we are going to be letting this dry overnight. So peel the adhesive off the one side, put your E6000 on there, and attach it directly onto the top of your Jenga blocks. So while everything is drying, we'll give it a good chance to set, and then tomorrow we will put it up and see how stinking adorable it is.